Hey, how are you, Bernsey? What's shaking?
I had no idea because I like all the guys at the cellar. Like Sam, you. I think you guys are great.
All right, well, no, we know now, but the first couple of years,
Wow,
years
really?
were dicey. Yeah, we'd have meetings about it.
That you know what it is? That's probably awkwardness. It's probably just socially
course,
awkward.
of
Did you
course.
really like sit there for years and when Jim wasn't around just talk about like, no, I think Jim hates me more than Jim hates you.
All the time.
Wow.
It started with a tell, then you meet Jim, then you think about Jim.
Wait, are you saying that they give the impression they had everyone?
Yeah, like you just assume they hate you.
I've only been here 5 days, and I'm leaving before I cry.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you we
hates
might
you?
actually hate.
Who do you
Yeah,
think
but
hates
Mark is
you?
just telling me that the guy he thought I didn't like. Like I think Mark is really funny, and I think Sam, Mackie, all those guys are hilarious.
Yeah, but you can think somebody's funny and hate them.
But I don't hate any of them. I like them all very much.
I know, but it's not. It's also your weirdness and our weirdness colliding. You know.
Yeah, it's because I am a socially very odd person. Like you get to the point where like I'm not comfortable with anyone because
Yes.
not being comfortable with yourself.
Sure.
Well, also this place is so busy. New York is so there's so much input all the time
Yeah.
that like you just fucking start blinking.
Yeah.
and like you
And
can't sleep.
Yeah. And
Right.
sometimes you get to a
Jim doesn't stop blinking.
I haven't been to bed
No, I
yet.
don't.
Yeah, Jim.
I
Yeah.
literally haven't
Jim-
been to bed in a day and a half, maybe 48.
You can sleep. It's not actually the city that never sleeps. Everybody does
Yeah, you
sleep.
can. We doze off.
You can go to bed.
Yeah, my body clock's fucked up as well.
Yeah.
Oh, from Australia. Are you living in England or
but I
Australia?
live in the UK, but
He's,
I'm
a,
straight.
he's
Oh,
a UK comic.
I
Okay.
solved the New York puzzle.
What's the New York puzzle?
Remember how I said like I wasn't quite communicating properly in New York, and I did charade. How great a bloke is charade?
Oh.
Hey,
Depends on which
Dan
fans you
Soda.
ask.
Yeah, you better
How telling. But
pick a
him and-
side. Pick a side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh, I'm in the feuds.
I mean, if you're a busty
It is
white
like
woman.
the fucking what was it? The O&A universe.
That's right.
It's like if you drop a name, the crowd cheers.
Or booze,
Yeah.
depending.
Oh really?
Oh, of course.
They pick their fights.
Yeah. Don't mention Sandy Kane.
But I didn't realize I am because I have to soften my accent when I'm here. Otherwise, Latino people can't understand
Oh, right.
me, right? Yeah,
Right, I remember
was
that.
just
saying.
Latinos.
But the thing is, in the UK, I'm a shit kicker. I'm like white trash fucking scumbag.
Uh-huh.
And I did Charade's Race Wars yesterday, and I did not represent myself well at all.
Why?
Well, because I do a podcast that's like Charade's, but the premise of the podcast is I'm a fucking idiot. It's called Dumb White Guy, and I interview comics of different ethnicity, sexuality, and gender, and I ask dumb white guy questions, right? So when we're being introduced, it then comes around to me, and he goes, introduce yourself. I just said, I'm Brendon Burns, I host Dumb White Guy. I do the version of this show, but it's educated, right?
Okay.
And everyone's like, clearly, it took us an hour to clear it up. Is
He didn't like that joke.
where I am from, it is preposterous for me to talk like that. Right?
Uh-huh.
That it's so obvious. It's like your theme song.
You were just joking and being sarcastic and being silly, and they
I'm
took
a
you literal.
fucking moron where
Yeah.
we're from. I'm almost punching up half the time.
Sure.
So, but here, I sound like fucking the Queen
You
of
got-
England.
Yeah, you got that British
Right.
accent.
So I've
Right.
got the fucking swagger of the Aussie bloke with his fucking guard up. I'm like, so like my demeanor.
But everybody, by the way, most people assume it's a British accent.
Yeah,
So it's way worse
So
than Australia.
I thought you
imagine,
were from
New
so
Zealand.
I guess from your perspective, it's almost like imagine a Jason Ellis that thinks he's better than you.
That is Jason
That's
Ellis.
Jason Ellis.
Well, okay, imagine Jason Ellis but a snob. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, that's same
Yeah.
deal.
So that is so counterintuitive to me because everything I do is anti-snobbery,
right.
and I can't stand fucking puffed up, pompous cunts.
Oh,
So it's so counterintuitive that it took us 45 minutes
I'm surprised.
before we realized that.
Just
oh,
a
wait,
joke.
maybe you're stretching for.
I've
content.
had those little things. It reminds me of a Three's Company episode where Jack said something and Mr. Furley thought he was a homosexual.
Yeah.
You like that?
There was some sort of misunderstanding. I put a lampshade on my head. We asked the vicar over. I sucked off a fucking guy. And yeah, so it's there's been a lot of talking at cross purposes, as I said, but
Well, so who do
that
you-
was so helpful.
Sure.
though.
Who do you think hates you though here?
Bookers.
Oh, you're talking about me?
Yeah.
Mark.
I think I rub I think I rub people and audiences up the wrong way.
Really?
Even
So I have to
audiences, okay.
basically give them a lead in. Like it worked to the Patrice benefit where I went, all right, I'm a fucking scumbag.
Uh-huh.
I'm not, to you, I sound like I'm off Downton Abbey,
Right.
but I'm an Australian that's based in the UK. I'm like, this got a laugh for the crowd. I said, I'm like 3 rungs below a black guy
Uh-huh.
in terms of socially. Like, it's anytime I'm hanging out with like a white English kid half my fucking age, it's a countdown to when they go like, oh, you're actually quite clever. And I'm like, go get me a fucking coffee.
Right.
Like, that's not our dynamic, you snooty shit.
Right.
But so having to deal with that all the time, then coming here and actually then having to undo that.
Yeah.
I see. It's complicated for you. Why you don't even worry about it? Who cares?
Yeah, just tell your dirty jokes and
That's
shit.
why Ari and DeRosa were so helpful and wonderful.
Arian DeRosa?
Ari?
Oh, Ari and DeRosa.
Did I say who?
I think you said
Arian
Ari,
DeRosa.
Ari and DeRosa.
Now that's a character.
White Power Joe.
Ariana DeRosa.
No, Arian as in he's a
Yeah.
white.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's Egyptian and
Yes.
adopted.
Nazi
Yes,
DeRosa.
Exactly.
But yeah, he came and watched my set and just said, just slow down. Do it like you're in Europe.
He was funny. I went on after Joe at the benefit. He had a good set.
Mate, you should see his latest hour. It's incredible.
No, I won't.
Really? Ooh.
You're not going to check it out?
No, I don't watch anyone's stuff. But I'm not gonna. I love DeRosa, but I'm not gonna go watch his stuff.
Yeah, you didn't watch Chris Rock's special. You're not going to watch Joe DeRosa's special.
It's a great point.
Right, right.
I didn't watch Louise. I didn't watch Sarah's. I didn't watch anybody.
I gotta say, I saw Mulaney at the Radio City. It was unbelievable.
Was he great?
I'm sure he was great.
It's unbelievable.
He's hilarious.
He's like the next guy. I don't know how he's not a household name. This is gonna put him on a map. It's insane.
John Mulaney is fucking hilarious.
He's brilliant.
When you see something like that, do you go like, this is awesome, or do you go like, fuck, I'm not there?
A little of both.
Yeah.
It's good that there's that level of comedy out there, but you're still like, I could never do that.
Right.
And then I had to go do a spot at the Stand with 8 people, and I died.
Did you have a bad set?
Yeah, it was just like I just couldn't get there, and they weren't into it. It was raining. It was a whole.
What's your
whole-
version of dying?
You know, just titters and not a lot of laughs.
That seems like universal dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. A quiet room.
Yeah.
So, like, I do stuff in Scotland, so it's like bottles getting beaten up, maybe boot off. And it's
Oh,
like,
wow.
no one clapped me enough.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that.
I want laughs.
Yeah, bombing is silence.
Yes,
When you're bombing,
yes.
it's silent. That's
By
all.
the way, I'm surrounded by like 3 of the greatest voices in radio. How much do I sound like a fucking tramp?
No, you're good. You mix it
I was
up.
Three great
I was
voices.
just
He's an old
thinking
school
that.
radio guy. I clear my throat all the time, and he's got a
And I'm
fucking
the last professional
weaselly,
broadcaster.
childlike
Oh,
voice.
Fucking seriously, honey tones everywhere. It's delicious.
Sammy Brand muffins.
That's right. That's right. You don't have to say that too.
You
don't
sound
need
like an
caffeine into it.
ATM.
ATM.
Yeah,
That's
like
what
I'd
he
be so
enjoys.
happy.
Ass to mouth.
I'll stand out all right.
Right. Just muffled.
Oh, and I'm deaf. So
I'll say,
Oh.
DEAF. All right.
yeah,
You
so
were
I'm-
thinking like in the good way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, oh,
Why are you deaf?
Why am I deaf?
None of any. Well, you have earplugs in.
No,
Let's
they're
get
not
into my
earplugs.
skin
They're
tone.
they're
Hey,
hearing
Brendon,
aids.
what's all this about?
They're hearing aids.
Oh, I swear to God, you pulled it. I thought it was a.
Jim, he goes,
Wait.
and I'm deaf, and Jim thought he pulled out earplugs.
That's what didn't make
And you're
sense.
like, I've got a great
Why would you
cure.
do that?
Wait, you have AIDS?
How many? How many floors do you think this building is? So like.
How long you been deaf for?
So I yell at people. Like I was with DeRosa at the Gotham, and the guy came out, the manager, Norm or something there, and my hearing aid was playing up because fucking New York's so noisy. They're battered, and I didn't even introduce myself, and I did my hearing aid in. First words out of my mouth, the poor guy's, mate, that fucking check slot was loud. And he's like, hello, I'm Mark or whatever his name is. And DeRosa's like, he's a British guy, which didn't do me any favors.
no.
So why-
This is Brendon, he's a British guy.
When did you go deaf?
At the age of 7, I had meningitis. And then I didn't know, got diagnosed in 2013. And I've listened back to old albums now. Fucking unbearable.
So wait a minute. So
Definitely.
you're kind of you can hear, but it's all fucked up, and you didn't know until recently.
That's right. Missing 30 decibels in each ear.
So how
Nice.
much?
Oh my
what,
God.
How much? What percentage are you of hearing? Like what percentage could you hear?
Well, decibels are weird as well, apparently, right? So, like, say if we had like a volume turned up to 40 and you took 30 off it, that wouldn't actually be 3/4 off.
Right.
It's accumulative with
Okay.
decibels for some reason.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I think it's as it goes up, it gets
So
way
that,
louder.
That last 10,
yeah.
30 to 40 is a lot more than 1 to 10 in terms of a difference in how loud something
Wait,
is.
but
I think it's the other way around.
yeah, it's the.
Oh, that's not what you said.
I wish I was deaf.
Yeah, no, I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember whether it's accumulative or the other one.
Yeah.
You should
Fuck,
figure
I'm
that
so
out.
dumb
'cause-
this morning.
Yeah, because you're deaf.
Dumb white guy.
Of all people who should know how decibels work, you should, because the rest of us just hear.
Yeah.
You know? So you would think.
Well, I mean, I told this on the charade. We found out I was deaf at the UFC
Man,
Charles Sonnen.
Sherrod, DeRosa, all this name dropping.
showbiz. I was. It's almost like sometimes when you go to places you want to name like local references. So you go like, so I got here on Route 66. Hey, that's a road, isn't it?
Right.
Whee!
Sure.
And we found out it was my wife and I at the Charles Sun and Anderson Silva rematch. You know the one
Oh, is
after
that
Charles
one?
Sun
Yeah.
had been talking so much shit about Brazil.
Yeah.
So it's
We were
night.
there, weren't we, both of us?
I think so. Yeah, that was
That
when
was
he
in
threw the
Vegas?
spinning back fist and he fell and he
Yes.
got that and he lost
That
the
was
second
when
round.
we-
Second round. Yeah.
That was when we went for the whole
Oh, fuck, I
convention
bumped
and
into you.
everything. Yes.
I didn't. You didn't recognize me.
You are throwing banana all over the goddamn floor.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
worry
it's
about
okay.
it.
Don't
I'm a
worry.
fucking
about it.
wild place.
It's fine. It's fine. We got a whole staff to take care of stuff like that. Why would you shove your mouth full of banana in the middle of a story? That's the craziest
That's
thing
all
I've
right.
ever
Well, it's
seen.
nice. We get to talk.
I'm gonna need some
Okay, Mark,
banana.
you got to just jump in there. You're
Yeah,
not
I guess
shy.
so. Wow, I'm
You're
learning.
aggressive.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the benefit, the Patrice benefit.
I'm going to have my hand held a bit. So, a short version of the story. So, he shoulder barges him in the chin, right? And the place goes fucking deafening.
Oh, right.
They're all booing, right? They're all screaming in the top of their lungs, Brazilian fans, American fans, just at the weigh-in. And then Rogan goes to interview him, and it's fucking deafening. And my wife goes, "Oh, don't start, yelling while he's interviewing him. I can't make any of this out." And I'm looking up at the big monitor, and I went, he said, "Chow doesn't respect my country, doesn't respect the UFC, and tomorrow I fight." And then both my wife and I looked at one another, jaw dropping, like, how the fuck did I make that out? Like, I can't, because it's so pitch affected as well.
Sure.
I can't hear you or my son if you're in the next room. And my wife said verbatim, she goes, "That's because you're the only man in this building that has trained his hearing to negotiate the sound of one man laughing in a room full of people booing." And that's when we found out I could lip read, and then I got them tested, and then
Oh, you can lip read.
But you didn't know you could
only
lip
in
read?
context. But that's how. Like the audiologist said, "Do you stand near the front?" First of all, he goes, "Is it loud at your work?" And I said, "Apparently when I'm on." And then he goes, "Do you stand at the front all the time?" And ask him to turn on the first three lights so you can see the first three rows. I said, "Yeah." And he said, "That's so you can tell how you're doing. You've been deaf since 7.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. But like partial hearing, I should say.
Right.
Obviously, I could still hear.
You asked him to turn the lights up so you can see?
Yeah.
So you can see the lips.
It's the last thing I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
same.
so I used to always really it was all, like I said, I listen back to it now, it's fucking unbearable. It's all one note screaming, just, and it's deafening. And I can't listen to it. I want to punch
Interesting.
myself in the face.
So
Wow. You should use this. This is like a gimmick. I mean, it's a good thing in stand-up. You have a thing.
I did an Edinburgh show about it.
Oh,
About
there you go.
5 reasons you've never called Brendon Burns hasn't heard of you either. And it's 5 reasons you've never heard of me. And the reason number 1 was I yell and I swear.
Uh-huh.
But
Right.
I mean, what about you didn't work in the fact that you can't hear? You should do 5 reasons that Brendon Burns has never heard of you.
Exactly.
And the
Yes.
reasons are because you can't fucking hear.
5 songs someone told
Don't
me are
worry,
good.
that was addressed. It all kind of went in there to tie
Oh,
it
okay.
together. And that's how Cabana and I met. Colt Cabana and I. We do a comedy wrestling show together every year. But he was a plant in that show. I
the
got
old
into a
plant.
fight in a guy in a wheelchair. With a guy in a wheelchair.
So this really is like a comedy wrestling show. Like you're doing wrestling stuff.
Yeah. And everyone believes it. The funny thing is, the more twists you put and the more distractions you put, the less people will know. It's like the bigger the lie, the more people will believe it.
Yes.
I see.
And
I
so it was my mate Barry in a wheelchair, and I pretended that he was a guy that I used to work with when I was doing social services in Australia, in Perth, Western Australia, called Billy Amos. And it's actually my friend Barry Castanola, because he was pretending to be special. And then I get into a fight with his carer, and everyone kind of panics. And then Cabana, when we gimmicked that was the day that Cabana was coming to see the show, he just stands up and acts really well and throws the guy out of the room. And turns out that guy's a wrestler. They tear their clothes off. They're wearing wrestling tights. They get into a fight. And the funniest thing is, every day, so many bells and whistles, no one ever looked to their left at Barry in the wheelchair and went, "Wait a minute, if they are, what about him?" Because there was so much going on.
Right.
And the show ended with him getting up out of the wheelchair, walking, and then smashing me over the head with fucking a balsa wood plank. And fuck me, I should have got proper balsa wood because it
boy.
didn't break every night. And it
didn't.
fucking...
Whatever happened to jokes?
Yeah. Is that what you do, Mark? Do you
I tell jokes.
You do jokes.
But you
Okay.
know what? You do a month on the trot. You kind of
Uh-huh.
need, particularly at the Edinburgh Festival, you need time to reset.
Something
Yeah.
to mix it up.
Oh, because no matter what, at some point you're not going to hit it right.
So what happened at the Patrice benefit? Was it mainly jokes or was it Was it shenanigans?
Did you hit a retard?
People were kind of mean to one another.
Oh, okay.
I kind of like everyone was shouting on Voss.
Yeah, that's standard.
No.
But it was funny though.
Jim,
I
did you
didn't
see any of that?
Because
he's your friend.
I regrettably made a comment.
No.
Let's hear it. Come on.
What did you say
What'd
about
you say?
Rich?
I said he was dressed like the toddler of an MS-13 member.
That is, you regret that now.
It was
it was
funny
a
that-
regrettable
That's a
comment.
great line.
And they all
it's his
shout on
friend,
one
you know,
another.
Yeah, I guess
you
so.
know.
But he's a 60-year-old Jew in Jordans.
Okay, that's a great counterpoint.
Yeah.
That's
Because it's quite jarring how much everyone does race here, right?
Yeah.
When you're raised on UK PC-ness. And
Is it bad over there?
Oh, yeah, the worse than we are.
but it's also
Really?
not coming from a good place.
Oh, interesting.
Sounded like
It's snooty. It's kind of classist.
Interesting.
And so that's why when you first come to New York and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is a bit fucking racist. But then you look around the room and you realize, oh, everyone's in.
right.
Like there's every race is
Oh.
here. Whereas in the UK, it's like their version of discussing race is, that Nigel Farage is a racist, hey? Yeah? And everyone goes, nah. And then you look around the room and it's nothing but middle-class white people.
Well, people do that here. Like,
Yeah, we do that.
that's like college kids and stuff. They
Yes.
do that here. It's just you're hanging out with New York comics.
Being
Yeah.
full of bunk
How
knows no
great is it
boundaries.
here, by the way? It's so funny.
Good
Oh, what'd you
point,
say?
Jim.
I was just saying that crosses all borders. People who are full of it. That's just my.
Ah, come on, you tell them.
That's a bit of a hot
I'm a little
take.
bit country.
That's a bit of a hot take.
You are the only show that tries to that dares its audience to leave.
Can we get more bananas in here?
I'll let you forget that you dance. So you're trying to bug them. It's fucking awesome.
Were you nervous about the Patrice benefit because
No.
you know
It's a big gig.
You got and you got all these comics that are like they know each other very well. You're kind of the odd man out, but you're friends with Patrice, but they don't all know that, right?
Were you friends with Patrice?
Yeah, we met in '98. I was one of 5 people in the UK he could tolerate,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
and I think like we
Did
rubbed
you know
off on each other
Gavin?
quite a bit.
Did you know Gavin? His friend Gavin, Big Gav.
No, I don't know Big Gav. Who's Big Gav? Do you mean Curtis?
He's not a comedian. His name is Gavin. He was just a big guy that would hang with Patrice. And
Is that the guy that would drive
I
around
remember
all the time?
Gavin.
He might have. He's a giant guy.
He didn't have many friends there.
No, or here. He was a giant
true.
guy.
He was not a bloke to take home to meet the missus.
Yeah. No, he was not.
Oh, have I got a story for you?
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna get a coffee.
yeah.
I'm joking.
Oh,
Hit
no.
me, baby.
Do you want to do
Yeah, I
more
heard
Patrice
that.
benefit stuff?
Well, no, let's hear the story.
I want to hear the Patrice story.
Oh, it's long though.
The show is. We only got
are
a
you-
half hour left here.
You bummed out when you found out it was a long one.
Yeah. Well, I heard you told a story at the benefit.
I did tell a
I
story.
heard
at
it
the
went
benefit.
quite over time.
Yeah. I didn't have my glasses on.
That's what everybody's talking about.
How long was it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Did Brendon go over
overtime?
a little bit?
Well,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
What happened was I didn't have my glasses on.
Do
'cause-
comedians like that when other
Oh,
comics?
Sure,
no.
when you're
No,
on
they-
before him, I didn't notice it.
Jimmy sneaks out every
But,
show.
Oh, is that why everyone was scowling at me?
Oh yeah. Everybody said the foreign guy went long.
They don't like that when people go long?
No, especially
Oh.
the outsider.
Right. Comes in out of nowhere.
People are talking.
Oh,
Decides
because
to
I
be
have my
very
glasses off.
liberal
I don't have anti-glare on them, and it looks shit on
So
a
you
big-
can't see or hear.
So I looked up there. Yeah, I'm fucking blind
Yeah.
and deaf.
Right.
And I looked up, and then the time had gone. I went, oh fuck! I didn't do. I wanted to tell a story, particularly because it was a story I knew no one had heard.
But did you tell it anyway?
And the people are going, yeah, tell the story.
Oh,
and then it was
okay.
Oh,
like,
you
give me
said that to the audience. I want to tell the story, and they went, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Now, let me
Nothing
ask
worse
you
than when
guys,
you're
But
going
then
on.
I asked into the wings and I went, fuck, Maureen, can I tell a story? And then Voss ran out and went, I'm giving you permission to do a story.
Oh,
That's
all
true.
right.
He has no authority.
Right. Yeah, because like as a comic, when you're looking at somebody on stage and he's already gone over his time.
Yeah.
And then he acknowledges it and goes to the audience. I got a Patrice story. Do you want to hear it?
What are they gonna say?
Are you guys backstage going to be like, yeah? let's
No,
hear
we're
the
not.
story?
We're gonna go, no.
Oh, this fucking limey.
No, we know how it ends.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that looked like cunty coarse manipulation.
Yes.
Well, it kind of was.
It's like when you say to the audience, "All right, guys, they're telling me I gotta go," and
Yeah.
the crowd goes,
Oh, no,
and the next comedian is going, "Yeah, you do."
Yes.
But then
No,
even if he
I
doesn't
so
do
didn't
the
mean it that
story,
way.
even if he doesn't do the story and gets off, then the next comic goes up and the audience is like, "We wanted to hear that story he talked about."
Yeah, because
And so the guy's fucked,
I
right?
have my
Exactly.
glasses off. I look up and I thought I saw 3 minutes. I went, fuck, time's gone. right? And I don't
Yeah.
really have much of a inner monologue on stage. I don't do a lot of thinking.
Uh-huh.
It's just it's in the
So
head.
you
it's
don't
out.
hear or see or think.
Yeah.
Hear no evil,
It's
see
a
no evil, think
miracle
no
I'm
evil.
alive, and I sound fucking snooty while at it.
Right.
I got no hope.
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
Well, the
It's
top
amazed
hat
I've
and the
been
monocle
shot.
didn't help.
But so you tell the story anyway.
I try and tell it as quick as I can, yeah. So I do it. And the funny thing was, like, it got like applause breaks in places I wasn't
Oh.
expecting.
Right.
I've never told it
not,
before.
Not from the other comics.
No,
You
no,
never
no, no,
told
no.
it? You did that at the Patrice benefit? That's pretty risky.
That was the thing. I think DeRosa, I now realise in hindsight, was fucking with me.
Right.
Because I said to a couple of guys, "You telling Patrice stories?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, "But you're a gang. Isn't this your safest?" And then DeRosa said he started the story, but then bailed on it. And he goes, "Can you imagine, right? Like, there's 90% chance it's going to go well. But that 10%, and if you bomb at that gig, you're
Ugh.
never going to be allowed to live it down." And I was like, "You can't." Well, I guess I'm getting on a plane, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
True.
Right.
But
this was your one shot. Like, you're very
So-
unfamiliar with the audience. Like, this is your shot for that audience to be like, I don't know who this guy is,
Sure.
and then you win him over.
But we get to see a lot of more of him than the other comics.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he gets a little extra time.
And he goes more longer.
for the story.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was
so
gone.
You went a
already.
little long. You were gone.
It didn't bother me. I was gone.
Yeah,
Right,
I think I did like 13 or something.
So if you
Oh, yeah,
find
that's
13
double
over.
the time.
No,
That's what
13 minutes.
I heard you did 29. What? That's what I heard. I
That's
wasn't there.
insane.
so people are talking.
Hold on,
now.
I'll text Maureen
I went, up,
Tarrant.
I went up to 8
Absolutely
people. I said,
not.
"How was the Patrice benefit?" And they said, "Jessica Kierson killed," and some British guy went 30 minutes.
Are you serious?
Swear to God. I'm not trying to, you know.
Jessica did
awesome.
kill.
That
Yeah,
is
oh, yeah.
such
funny.
So funny.
gossipy lies.
Well, I mean,
because they
I'm
timed
just,
me.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
It
Travis,
was
do
3
you-
minutes over, and I was doing 10.
All right.
I
Well,
heard,
hey.
I heard 29. Travis,
What?
do you like where this
See?
is going?
I
New
love where
York,
this
you're a
is going.
pack
Yeah.
of fucking mean girls.
I'm-
You're a
I'm
pack-
right- I'm right now
Fuck you and your
texting some-
bullshit.
He's
fuck
texting
tough
the
guy
booker.
shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, you're a pack of fucking mean girls.
I'm texting
Well,
right now.
the Mean Girls felt taken advantage of because the foreign guy came on and did 30 when you're supposed to do
well,
10.
excuse me for waiting 6 fucking years and telling one story you haven't heard.
Oh, I didn't realize it was the Brendan Burns benefit.
Yeah. I thought I was doing you a favour. You'll enjoy it, but you didn't heard it.
Doing us a favor.
Yeah.
Do your act and get off.
Fucking bums. You terrified babies.
Do your goddamn 10 minutes and go home, right, Mark?
Yeah.
I don't know
it's
the
a comedy,
comic
but there's
mentality.
18
I'm not a
comics on the show.
comedian.
Yeah, what were they scared of? You saying they were terrified. What were they terrified of?
Oh no, DeRosa was saying like, so there's that 10% if it doesn't go well.
Oh, yeah.
We'll never let each other down. And I'm like, you mean you don't let each other fail? You fucking cunts. Oh my
Right.
god.
No, he wanted you to do it.
Yeah,
Right.
we do.
Yeah, so he said you've got to do it. You've got
Yeah.
to do it.
Do you think a year from now,
And
when
also,
the Patrice
I'll be
benefit is
honest,
happening?
I am not used to playing a 2,500 seat theatre.
I can see why.
Awesome.
You think,
I live with my chin.
you think next year at the Patrice benefit, people are going to be backstage being like, you remember that fucking British guy that went 30
Of
minutes?
course.
Yeah,
I'm
they're still gonna
Australian as well.
be, they're still going to be talking about it. That's great.
That's
Of
fucking
course.
funny.
That's going to last forever.
Yeah, it's not what happened at all.
So that thing where like you're never going to live it down if you bomb, same thing happens if you go over like
Sure.
30 minutes.
Mate, if
Oh,
I was,
yeah.
if I was
Yeah.
being a prick, I would totally
If
fucking
you
fess up.
bomb, the comedians will love you. If you go over, the comedians will hate you. That's
Wow.
like if you bomb, the comics will enjoy it and be
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Oh.
dude, that was awesome."
That's why we have
when I
Boss
come up-
back.
Let's go to Let's go to Chris the Teacher on line 1 because Chris the Teacher was at the show.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Also, we
Chris
should
the
call
teacher, some
Voss.
objectivity, please.
Call
And
Voss.
How funny are your listeners, by the way?
Hello, Chris.
Hey, what's up? This guy went like really long.
Right, how long?
He said he went really long.
Wait, define really long.
Well, you had to bring out Greer Barnes for your punchline, dude.
Yeah, that's
What?
right. I did, yeah.
You
'Cause-
brought out a black guy?
Yeah, because there was an N-bomb in it. Because it was Patrice has an N-bomb.
Oh, my God.
Did you
I'm not
ask
going to
him-
say the fucking...
Oh, I see.
Did you ask him permission first? Like, did you tell Greer you're going to do that?
So now you're a
Yeah,
prop
yeah.
act.
Oh, okay.
I told Greer I was going to do that, yeah.
Okay, that's okay then, I think.
And
Did he go long? Did he go long, Chris? Do you think? Okay, so here's the debate, Chris.
go on, Chris the teacher.
Do you think-
wait. Is this like one of your listener things that's like, I'm going to shit on the guy to get in?
No,
No,
it's Chris
this
the teacher.
guy's
He's
a-
a good guy.
he's a good
egg.
guy.
Oh, he's a regular?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Chris, Brendon is saying he went 13 minutes, which means he went
They
3
timed me.
over.
They fucking timed me.
Mark
She told me when it came
Norman
off.
is saying that rumor has it that it was closer to 29 minutes.
That's what I heard.
I find 29 a little hard to
Get
live. Yeah, that's the law.
fucked. My gig clock, shut the fuck up. 27 years I've been doing this, my gig clock ain't that fucked.
Chris, what do you think?
with all due respect to Mark Norman, who I love, it was probably about 15 minutes.
13.
I'm not
Thank
saying
you.
I'm not saying you did. I'm saying what I heard.
That's closer to 13 than fucking half an hour.
Still, 15. You've now done 50% extra time.
I'm
10
not going to
minutes
say
becomes 15 . That's 50% extra. That is still a
Thank you
lot.
very much,
Yeah.
Chris. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
By the way,
Chris.
oh my
Thanks,
God,
Tom.
I hate that that's what that looks like because there's a guy in England called Peter Kay who goes on in the middle.
Peter Kay, I know that name.
Yeah, he's a bit of a thief and he's a bit of a cunt and everyone hates him.
Oh,
Well, actually, not a bit of a thief, a complete thief. He
He'll be
stole
on
from his
the
friends.
the benefit next year.
Yeah, he even stole from his friends, and when they
Peter
rang him
Kay.
up and said, like, mate, what are you doing? You're doing my bit. And he just, like, hung up and never spoke to them again.
Is he the guy?
So
Wait, was
bad.
he going to go on tour recently, but he didn't?
Yes, that's it.
He's a very famous comic there.
It's huge. Sells out.
Someone said that he
Sells
had
out.
a year's worth of gigs sold and then totally canceled the tour due to illness or something.
I think his mum died or
his
something. in
mom, yeah, there
fairness.
was something going on.
But he used to go on in the middle, and he used to do the thing of, oh, look, folks, I'd stay on forever, but I've got to go. They've got to get another act on.
So he'd pull a Brendon Burns.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is like, I can't
Wait, he's
believe
one
that
of
that's
those
what that looks
guys?
like.
I guess
And I
so.
got to
I
be
don't know. I
honest,
wasn't
fucking
there.
when I started the story, I got a bit fucking choked up because you've all had time to process it. I haven't. Even when I was in here the other day, it's
Right.
a bit bittersweet anytime
What
I
do you mean
see.
process? Like he's been dead the same amount of
5
time in
years.
England.
Absolutely. We've
Yeah,
been
but-
celebrating since 2011.
Okay, but none of my friends were friends with him.
Oh,
Aha.
so you haven't been able
There's
to
been
talk it
zero
through.
grieving.
Right.
Right.
Here too. And we all know him.
There's been zero grieving. So all of a sudden, I'm fucking talking about this guy that I haven't thought about for ages. I got a fucking lump in my throat. And then DeRosa was so funny shitting on me yesterday. He goes, because I then went backstage and just fucking burst into tears in the wings, just sobbed like a big girl's blouse. Like
You
I
did.
hid when no one can see me. And it was funny. Then the DeRosa comes up and goes, "Are you crying?" Like so disgusted.
Yeah.
And then Sam J gave us a bit of a hug. And then
That's nice.
DeRosa then like gives it a 24-hour fucking respite. And then like on Race Wars yesterday, he goes, and you're so lucky people didn't speak to you afterwards because fucking faking some tears to get what was it? Faking some tears on stage to get extra points.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I choked and I started to get a bit lumpy like I did in here the other night. Also bearing in mind as well, I'm not sleeping a lot while I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm a bit more
That does
emotional
make you a bit more emotional when you don't
than
sleep.
I normally would.
Yeah, understandable.
We were just
And-
talking about that with you.
Yes.
Yes.
So even when I was in here the other day and I was trying to tell a story and I got a lump in my throat.
Right.
And so then I started to tell that. And it's funny that I've never had an audience hold my hand before. Where people were like, go on, fucking.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you did all your tricks this time to get them to hold your hand.
Absolutely. Folks, they're telling me I got to go. If the comic before me said they got to get another act on,
That's
Yeah,
evil.
that's not what
What
I
a
did. That's what I'm saying. But
no,
there's
no,
a guy
no.
that does that.
would he be
close.
killing when he did that?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It was close.
Crushing.
And then you said,
And
give
he
it
would
up for the
do
troops.
every dirty underhanded trick. And then he said, what?
Give it up for the troops. And it's my birthday, and I just had a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't we miss Patrice?
Yeah, I deserve that. Yeah. And
I bet when Greer Barnes said the N-word, the place went nuts.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Absolutely. If
Absolutely.
you bring a black guy out to say it and get away with it, it's awesome.
That kills.
Well, I just didn't. Well, you know what? If Bill Maher's giving himself a pass just because he votes Democrat, that's why I backed away. Like I used to have like 5 jokes that had it in it.
Oh, yeah?
I only do it in a serious statement.
I only do it from a passing car.
Yeah, when
that's
I'm-
my rule.
When I'm discussing politics. into a fucking loudspeaker.
I only use it during sex.
Yeah.
Which is strange because my wife's Chinese. Come on.
Hey, hey.
Black people ruined the N-word. I remember when it meant happy. So I don't feel comfortable doing that just because it feels a bit like too many people
Gratuitous, sure.
Yeah.
are affording themselves the pass. It's almost like, stuff's becoming so ironic that it becomes face value now.
Sure.
Like your theme song.
Yes,
Your
so
theme
good.
song is so ironic that it's face value.
That's right.
And
What?
almost.
It's not ironic.
Well,
It's just a happy song. We're happy guys.
The only thing that fucking upsets me is the ugh at the end. Because I'm like, I don't need that bridge.
Well, that's because
Like that
you're
happy-go-lucky
British.
morning song.
Yeah.
You're British. You like the
It's a
dry
very
humor.
subtle
Yeah, yeah.
bridge, though. Ugh. At the
You
end
need,
of the
you
song.
need a little. You need a
But
wink.
give us credit. Listen to how funny your listeners are, right? Like we.
What?
Okay, hear me out, right? Jim and Sam, la la la, fucking radio, blah blah zoo, we're wacky, right? And then cut to Jim going, mango makes fucking tranny cum taste good, right? The juxtaposition is there.
Does it?
We don't need
No.
a hand.
Biology does. So I know what you're saying, but it was only a little ugh. It wasn't crazy. Like Yeah, the bridge was so small. I didn't mind. I don't think I even caught it the first time, and
Right.
it's just like, ugh.
Because it's
at
even
the
a
end.
happy yuck.
Yeah, it's kind of silly at the end.
But wouldn't it be great if there was like a yay or a facetious?
That would be fine too. I don't mind either one. I'm okay with
I
the
like
ugh.
the I like the because it's a wink.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right actually, because actually
little
I
wink.
now, given that I now have to say in Australia I'm a scumbag, I'm not posh. So when I say this shit, I'm not looking down my nose at you.
Right. It's just like at the
I
end.
kind of have to do that.
It's at the end.
Yeah.
You're just adding
Okay.
JK.
All right, I back off.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
wrong.
wait till you meet Chip.
Oh, Chip, that's you and I were talking at cross purposes the first time we met because you weren't doing Chip yet. And
What do you mean doing Chip?
What?
did you say, but do you meet Chip?
Wait till you meet Chip Chipperson.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The man, the
The,
comic.
the person.
Wait, are you Dame Ednaing this?
Ah,
He's there.
what are you doing?
Oh, no.
Jesus, come
Oh,
on.
no, am I pointing at the fucking...
Brendan, you know I don't like to break the fourth wall.
Oh, no. Am I nodding to the man behind the curtain?
No. I
don't know
really-
what he's talking
I don't
about.
either. Now, what do you mean? When was this that we talked?
It was when I came in here first time with Foley. And...
Mick?
That's right.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we did. I do like wrestling comedy shows with him sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And but you would facetiously going because also trends in comedy go in cycles, and so sometimes what is a trend in New York is an old trend in England, and vice versa.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
it's cyclical.
interesting.
So it's like, and at that point in time, in England, playing to the back of the room was really hack. But I didn't realise how tongue-in-cheek you were being when you were saying, "Hey, maybe I'll go over there and say that like a fag means fag and a cigarette." Nah. And I was trying to tell you, I thought you were doing the playing to the back of the room thing, and I was trying to warn you, like going, "I wouldn't do that. That's kind of."
Oh, if you go over there.
But you
Literal
thought I meant don't do the fag joke. And so you and I would fucking like miles away for the rest of the time when I there should have been an easier communication there.
Yeah, I wound up going over recently. I did 2 in London and 1 in Manchester. It was
Did you do the
fucking
cigarette joke?
incredible. Loved it. I did. I opened and closed with it.
Did it? Oh, so it
Killed
just,
twice.
Wow. In the same
Twice.
show.
Right, we open close with Chip.
No, with the
Cigarette
fag
joke.
cigarette thing. They went bananas both
No
times.
way.
Yeah.
They've heard that a million times, I would
couldn't-
imagine.
I don't
Oh,
think so.
literal Mark.
Oh, literal Mark.
Yeah, it was incredible. I was so stupid.
Wait, you didn't do it before you brought someone up, did you? Because that would have been cunty. People can't follow that.
No, I know. It was tough.
Jim
but,
went to England. He was doing 15 minutes
Wait a
before
minute,
a bunch
wait a minute.
of comics.
Was
he
your
stayed
time
up for
up?
45.
And then, like you said, wait a minute, look, I got to go, but look, I'd love to do the fag bit.
No, he doesn't go
And then
over.
they went, no.
he doesn't do that, Mark?
Yes,
No,
and then
he
I
doesn't
actually
go long.
brought out a gay guy to say the word fag.
And a cigarette. Come on.
There you go. Then a guy in a wheelchair came out and you hit him with a piece of wood.
Why do you suppose he doesn't go over?
That's really like wrong and mean.
I see.
Yeah, frowned upon.
I see.
You know, I actually
Industry-wide?
went under by about 30 seconds.
There
my
you go.
bit it just closed at 30 seconds under. I didn't want to start a new one.
Right. That's good of you.
Smart.
But it was really strange because I'd never told the story out loud before, and I've never been able to tell it in the UK.
Oh, what's the story?
I
How
started
long is
it
it?
on Friday. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I'm asking how long.
I could go fast.
Okay.
How
Well,
long
should I
did
tell
you
the version I told on the night?
No, we
Or-
don't have 45 minutes.
You have 45 minutes.
No, see, because I'm just kidding. Because that would imply that you went 45 minutes. to tell your story.
I cut it really short. And in actual fact,
Not
it's a thing
that
that New
short.
York has taught me is fuck me, it's wall-to-wall funny here. It's like coming to the gym.
Yeah, it's the
Really
best.
is. It's like
In
amazing
actual
comics.
fact, by the way, such a British thing. Ozzy says that a lot. In actual fact, that's a really British expression. Yeah.
I've been living there a long time, in fairness.
Ozzy has been saying that. That's where the only person I've ever heard say that is Ozzy Osbourne.
But it's so
actual fact.
strange to me because, like, in England, I'm Aussie as.
Redundant.
I'm super fucking Aussie. I'm Ocker and
Are you?
yeah, I'm like uncouth white trash.
Where do you live in England?
I live on a farm in the middle of smack bang in the middle of the country.
Okay.
Smack bang.
Why?
You got to come stay next time you
I
come.
like that.
I would like to go out there and for more time. Yeah.
What town do you live in?
I can't say the village because sometimes I get death threats, but I can say the town.
What's the town?
It's near Banbury, which is between London and
I
Birmingham.
used to live in Walton when I was a kid.
Get the fuck out of here!
I'm
Walton
not
on
kidding.
Thames.
Walton on Thames.
Look at you.
On Ashley Drive.
Oh.
That's right.
Quit bragging.
How long
Yeah.
have you been there?
I was only there for
In
4
England?
years.
Oh.
I started out there in 1990, and then moved to Melbourne between 92 and 94, and then I moved back in 94.
Oh, okay. So you've been there for a long time.
Yeah. And then kind of like all over as well, which is why my accent's all over the shop.
Were the Brits shit on the Aussies?
Absolutely, we're scum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All
Which is
right.
weird. Like, so then, like, when I get, get here, and then, like, guys, fucking Burr kept on going, listen to it, Izzard. Fucking Benny Hill over here. And I'm like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
And
the same
Ronnie
shit.
Chang was there, and I turned to Ronnie and was like, did he just say Benny Hill to me? And
then-
he's like, yeah.
And then Ronnie went, hello. Hi.
He's a big UFC fan. Not a very funny addition. I just wanted to toss that in.
Oh, just some,
Thank
just some
you.
facts for the room.
A little facts.
Ronnie
okay.
is?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
I can't believe anyone showed interest in that.
Yeah.
I was joking.
Well, you got to know
Jesus,
Ronnie to be
sweetheart.
interested.
And Mark's a professional.
Mark is
he
a
tries to make
professional.
something out of nothing.
Mark
Trying to
is a
get
good
some
egg.
radio here. But wait,
so-
should we get a person of color in here to do the N-word part of your
He's
story?
sitting next to one.
Short version of the story. Well, that was the weird thing as well. I'd never told it before. It got applause breaks and big laughs where I wasn't expecting them.
Yeah.
To the extent where I actually cut the story so short.
Come on.
Because New
Not
York
that
was,
short.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to take the fucking piss. And
I mean, I heard from the guys in the theater, not that short at all, really.
I heard the crowd took a piss.
that's a yeah. Yeah, that's a flat out lie.
I'm joking.
The end of the story, it was strange that the end of the story just appeared, and you kind of learn that here as well. That when everyone's doing crushing tens,
Yeah.
and everyone's amazing, you're so used to in your head the beginning, the middle, and the end of the bit, and a structure of 20 minutes. That it's hard to actually go like, oh, that got a laugh. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
And but now I'm learning that sometimes just you know what, fucking shave the bit in half. If there's a laugh and a clap, I can fuck off.
Yes.
And that also trains you to have that many jokes in your bits as well.
I
So that
chopped
you
a
can
lot of
get
my
out
jokes.
anytime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Right.
chopped quite a few that night. We just kind of go,
Chop more.
that's a good laugh. No, it was, really, it was just a good feeling when I
Oh,
walked
good,
away.
good.
Just the right amount of laughter.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Really good.
And
You mean
that's-
it wasn't too much? You didn't go that long.
No, I did my 12. I was supposed to do 12. I did my 12.
But you know what's cool is like I talked to a lot of people at the stand and the cellar, like a lot of audience members, and they all flew in for the Patrice Bennett. It's like
a lot
big
of people
thing.
did.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was
Wow.
actually a woman I know. I'm guessing she's still here from. She's from Australia. Actually, she came in for the benefit.
Wow.
That's
That's
amazing.
amazing.
There's a few British comics as well that
Flew
texted
in.
me that flew in,
Wow.
and they said we're in the audience. And
Have
I
they-
only forgot the.
They were
the
British
text later.
comics or people?
British comics.
Oh wow.
But they still go. I mean, I've gone to that years. I remember I went like 3 years ago, and like comics are in the audience. Soder was in
Are
the
they?
audience like a few years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah, I mean, lots of comics.
I went
I
2
would-
years ago.
Yeah.
I can't comprehend that. Like I saw Keith Robinson backstage. I'm like, you on? And Greer was there. And
It's a big thing.
It's
Have
a
they
thing.
Ever, have they
That's
ever,
why, I really, honestly, genuinely thought it would be remiss to not tell a story. I
Well, you just
genuinely
had to-
thought it would be rude.
if you had cut out a few of your jokes before, you could
And
have told
I
the story.
had no idea that the jokes were going to get the laugh and the applause breaks they were. I literally did fucking 1.5 bits, what I would consider to be 1.5 bits. The crowd was that fucking great. And I was like, shit, that's got to go. That's got to go. That's got to go. And I had my glasses off because they're so, you see how specky they are and I look like a bit of a paedophile?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right? And there was just a couple of things I had to do that you needed to see my eyes. I felt you needed to see my eyes. So I'm standing there without my glasses on and I'm looking at the clock and I see 3 minutes and it's 30 seconds.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm like, oh, fuck, I've got to go.
And then you went another 20.
Yeah. Yeah. And then actually I got Patrice's mum up on stage. I fucked her in front of everyone.
So what's
Yeah.
the
Fucking like
what's the
it's-
story? What's the Patrice story? I want to know.
Mark, quick comment.
How about those kids getting shot, huh?
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't keep up with the ADHD thing.
Do you feel better now, Mark? Mark didn't know you, so he was a little bit.
No,
he was
yeah.
on the radio
this is-
together.
You're very easy to get along with.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You
What are
got a
drinking?
delicious voice, by the way.
He does have a great voice.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
so good.
Yeah.
It almost feels like you're putting it on, and then you meet you in real life, and it's like,
It's the
oh,
same
no, he's
voice.
real.
Yeah.
Are you like
Problem.
in a cartoon? Are you a cartoon?
No.
He's a person.
Get fucked. Are you not Archer or something?
No, I wish. I would love to do any voiceover if you're out there.
Are you
Please book
serious?
me.
You're
Yeah.
not
You
animation.
do have a good voice, man.
I would kill. But I think my act, they hear my act and they freak out.
Why they
Surely,
write this stuff in a cartoon?
Pixar, if you're listening, right? Sarcastic Fox.
Oh.
Sarcastic Fox, or him or Greg Proops. Sarcastic Fox.
Oh, Greg Proops is good. Yeah.
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 Smartest man in the world.
Well,
That's his
Well,
podcast.
come on.
yeah.
Now, short version of the story. Right,
Yes.
okay, 1998. We're in Newcastle. I started this the other day.
I'm joking. It's an easy gag.
So wait, the picture's painted Newcastle.
It's 1998.
It's foggy.
You're in
The
Newcastle.
towers are still standing. Optimism's riding high.
I won't
Go.
cope. I won't cope. I won't cope. I'll fucking suck a dick. I will.
Is this when you got the first applause break?
Newcastle.
Absolutely. Newcastle 98.
Oh, no, wait. That's right. Because I did something hokey, which was I wanted to put DeRosa over because he's been so lovely the whole time.
What?
And at the top.
Not the DeRosa I know.
No, it's like when guys go over there, I help them translate.
Oh, I
And so,
see.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
Joe's a slope-shouldered crud.
You find so?
Yeah.
hear a good word
He's
about one
like a
another,
melted
can you?
candle, that guy.
Yeah.
I can't hear
He
a
is.
good word about one another.
Nah, he's the worst.
Yeah.
Fucking
I heard he
Bad
lost.
guy.
He has the record amount of lost money in Edinburgh.
Please.
Is that
That's
right?
such bullshit.
I swear to God.
That's such
What-
bullshit.
which-
$9
which-
grand. That's fuck all.
Yeah, that's a ton.
No, that's £9,000, which is what, 15K.
He, lo-
15,000.
wait, he,
That's
he
not the
lost that
record.
money?
Yeah, you're
but that's
supposed
not
to
the record.
make a little or break even. He lost $9 grand.
Why, you put your own money up?
Yeah.
No, people lose money all the time, but he didn't do the free fringe. It's changed now. The free fringe is where it's punk rock. And it's funny, I understand now as well when you guys talk about like, I think they kind of do theme shows there. No, and I was at a storyteller show the other night.
Wait,
and
wait, before you.
I realized that's what you guys mean by like, theme, because you go to a storyteller show and it's
I
a
wanna
bit
know
like the
more about-
Moth podcast, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like, and it
yeah.
feels like the crowd should be like clicking fingers and shit.
Right.
Explain
It's
to me
not
how
that. It's-
DeRosa lost the money. I
Just
don't understand. From
nobody
a
showed up
non-comedian.
to his shows.
So he puts the money up for his
Sure.
show.
Yes, you rent the room.
Posters.
And then nobody showed up.
And then nobody shows up and pays admission.
It was
so
in the
you
worst
lose
place
money.
for him imaginable.
Where,
And-
a comedy club? What was the name of Joe's show?
His Idle Little Theatre.
I think it was unlikable.
Yeah, it's
Something
probably,
like that.
It's probably
But
fitting.
he said as well, like by the end, he knew he was going to go home. And I think I came and saw him and went, mate, you'll find out more about who you are in front of doing an hour in front of 3 people than you will 300.
Was there really 3 people, though? I'd still
That's
rather,
the average
I'd rather know
audience
less
number.
about who I was.
That's
Yeah,
the average. That's
exactly.
the average audience number there. I think
What?
it's gone up to 6 recently. But when I started, it was the average number was 3
For DeRosa or in general?
for shows because there's 3,000 shows on.
Oh, that's right.
It's literally 24 hours. It's not literally 24 hours a day, but it's pretty close. Probably about 20 hours a day.
For how long? A month?
A month straight.
and it's grueling as fuck.
Yeah.
That's why
You do shows every day?
Every night.
Yeah, no, you do your show and then you do several late shows to try and plug it. You do like 18-hour days where you're there. It's grueling as fuck.
I talked, and you got a flyer, you got a paper, you got a bark. I
Got to
talked
do the whole thing.
talked to Kyle Kinane, and he said the hardest part is you go to the same room every night.
Oh,
you
you
know?
can't say Carl without doing his voice. Can you do Carl's? Yeah.
That's
really
all I
great.
got.
That's pretty good. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
fucking
awesome,
good, you know.
man.
Ah, well, he just said, and that's true when you think about it. Like, you go, when you're at the Yuck-em-ups in Dicktown, you're just like, all right, 3 nights, I'll get through it. But imagine 30.
Yeah.
Same walk down the stairs, same walk down the
and
sidewalk.
more scrutiny than you've ever had in your fucking life. It's exam time.
And they
Here's like
review
the
you.
gym. There's like university.
So, wow,
Ugh.
they really have small crowds there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
No, they have huge crowds as well.
Unless you're, Jimmy Carr.
I'm sure he does.
No. I make money every year. I'm not on telly.
Really? Well, they let you go as long as you want.
He's so saucy.
All right.
You are a little saucy this morning.
I'm saucy.
It's
Yeah.
funny. You've got such a great voice. It doesn't even feel insulting. There's nothing derisory in anything
Hey,
you do.
that's good. That's good.
It's like a pep.
Right.
He has a
it
charming smile, too. Mark's
Right.
kind of a little fun smile.
It's
He's a good egg.
It's fun. It's fun. It's just
Right.
a bit of fun. We can
It's
Yeah.
all fun, and I'm very non-threatening.
Right. Just so much darkness under.
So what
Oh,
happens
yeah.
right now? Paint the picture. We're in Edinburgh.
Here we go.
Edinburgh.
Newcastle.
Hey, oh.
1998.
No, first time we
98.
meet. All right, so first time we meet, 1998. We're in Newcastle, which
Yes.
is like the north of England. It's like a port town. There's only white people, scary
Okay.
blue, unintelligible,
White
fucking
people.
northerners.
So you're in Utopia.
Yeah. the applause break was, I believe it's Delaware, because I did that and then attributed it to fucking DeRosa. And it's funny, you guys are like the WWE universe. Is
Why?
that you say the name of a wrestler.
Right. Well,
Place goes, yeah. So I went,
Yeah.
It was DeRosa that told me to say that. He didn't. But they went, fucking, one of them.
Well, they
Right,
like
right.
to know that the comedians are just writing the bits backstage.
Yeah, they're just like
Yes.
they're fooling about.
Yes, it's all off the top of the noggin.
And so the thing is, you need a bit of context for this is, and forgive me if it now sounds practice because I told it the other day here, but black guys in America don't know what their name means in England. So there's guys with really super fucking middle class white English names that don't know it. Like saying the example I gave was Ian Edwards.
Yes.
And he goes, hi, I'm Ian Edwards. And as a foreigner, you try not to laugh at his fucking face. Because you're like, no, you're not. Are you fuck?
Right.
Like, I'm Ian Edwards. No, mate. Ian Edwards is like a British dude in a tweed jumper who makes his own jam, you know, as a fucking hanky. Looks
Right.
like a Toby jug. And as a recipe for chutney. And then
This is killing?
So then, let's face it, it's had one hell of a lead in. There's fucking a shitty ramp for this cunt. So so when I see Patrice O'Neill on the list that I'm living with Patrice O'Neill for 2 weeks, I'm expecting a 4'5" Irish girl.
Oh, I see.
So I get in the flat and there's a 6'4" black bloke
Fat guy.
in all directions, looking like Garfield, barely looking up at me, right? Just like fucking so like I don't exist, really kind of snooty. Like, hey, what's up? And I was like, fucking hell, right? And then I said, all right, man, how you doing? I'm Brendon. He goes, hey, Patrice! And I was not expecting that noise to come out of that head.
Yeah.
Right? And so I then try not to crack up laughing. And I said, all right, what's the running order tonight? And he goes, I don't know, but I'm the headliner. And we don't have a headliner system. You don't introduce yourself that way. Mm-hmm. Like it's people kind of, you know, are all kind of on a par. And I said, really? And I was like, well, how long have you been going? And he goes, I've been going 8. And I said, I've been going 10, so how about we get to the club and we'll see what the fuck happens.
Ooh.
It was maybe 6 and 8, right? So anyway, we get to the club. Turns out he is closing. And I'm hosting. But because he hadn't even looked at me, right? He'd barely introduced himself to me. And I thought, like, fuck, we're stuck in a fucking house together for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I do every fucking cunty Peter Kay thing I can before I bring him on. Folks, I'd love to stay on. I got to go.
So you did that the first time you met him, and then at his once he's dead, you go to his show and, you go over to tell him this story of you fucking.
That is true. So I guess you won.
I'm leaving Friday, assholes. What are you going to do about it?
By the way, that is the best
hallelujah.
way to honor Patrice is to go over your time.
Just to be a piece
He
of
was
shit.
not known for being a clock honorer.
Is that right?
No, he was not.
So I don't say anything about him to this all-white crowd, right? And this fucking unintelligible, scary fucking blue people, like they're hard nut cunts. Their Geordies are rough as guts.
Got
And
it.
you can't tell whether they're being friendly or picking a fight. They've got that kind of accent. And so I go, ladies and gentlemen, Patrice O'Neill. Say nothing about him. He walks out, the place fucking cracks up laughing. And like pointing at him, laughing just, wah! And then he says, in the very high-pitched voice, this ain't some N shit, is it? And then the place cracks up even more. And fucking just
Now,
like,
is he enjoying it or is he pissed?
no, he's fucking baffled. He has no idea.
Interesting.
And then because we were living together for 2 weeks, this happens every night, right? Every night.
Wow.
And he's like, and the first after 3 days, that's right. He didn't even look at me until he heard me fuck, and because I used to do a lot of ecstasy and cocaine. And he heard me fucking one night, and it was like a 4-hour session. The girl was coming, and I come out of the fucking room in a towel, and I used to be very pretty. And I come out of the room in a towel, fucking sweating, and he pulls. I know this is radio, this is terrible, and I probably won't do the face justice, but it was something.
Glasses have come. I'll paint the picture. The glasses are off.
And so the face was something like. And he's heard the woman coming. Garfield.
Let Jim paint the picture.
Paint the picture.
An exasperated Don Knotts.
Yes, and
That's
oh my
great.
mind,
Leaning
and
back.
oh my
Big
mind,
eyes.
Yeah, that's great.
Two
like
fingers
oh
over
my
the
word,
lips.
you are tearing that fucking vagina up.
Nice.
And then,
so you won his respect.
I did for fucking
Is
making the
this-
girl come 5 times.
Is this technically a story about Patrice
Yeah.
or a
Wait,
story
or your
about
sexual prowess?
Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
like I
'cause
said,
it kind of just seems like
Yeah, Patrice on my dick size.
complimenting
no,
yourself.
wait.
So wait, is the
you're saying
sto-
he wouldn't even look at me until then?
Right.
So
Right.
then, obviously, you're wondering how the fuck do we like break that barrier? Then we get on famously. It turns out that we love. I should also. Oh yeah, I should stress
Coke
as well
and
that
ecstasy?
after I give him the shittiest intro ever, he goes, "What is it?" And then he proceeds to do the best 45 minutes of stand up I've ever fucking seen. In my life.
Really?
Like to the extent where, like, you know, when you hear a song and you know it's going to be your favorite song, I like had what must have been 85% recall of his material. I rang my mates and was just like, all the bits, the fucking kicking the lady on the subway thing.
Yes.
The Pepsi Cola rapist
Yes.
bit.
And he
My
was-
favorite was the one of like, I ain't an asshole or nothing, but You ever just like stand at a bus stop next to some dude and he's like, hey, what's up? And you're like, hey, what's up? And then all of a sudden you just stand there and you're like, hey, why don't you punch that guy in the head real hard?
Right.
And fucking, oh my God, can you imagine how much Geordies loved that as well? Oh, that was my favorite fucking bit.
And this is a guy who's 6 years in or something.
He was, exactly. So I'm like, been going, hey, and I'm there going, and I'm going, by the way, you fucking closed, right? I'm saying, and he came off and I went, mate, you're one of the best stand-ups I've ever fucking seen in my life. That was fucking amazing. And so that was the first bit of the bridge. Second bit of the bridge was I made a woman come 5 times and he heard it.
Yeah, it does. It does. That does strike me as really what you wanted to do. Is you had 2,500 people and you were like, "Let me tell you how good."
No, this wasn't in the story last night.
Do you believe
at all?
Do you believe that?
Oh, so you just brought it out for this?
You said you wanted the longer version of the story.
No, we didn't.
I don't remember.
We said the short version.
That was a
said
great
longer
story, though. I
version.
liked it. That was a great
Yeah.
story.
It was. Did you like that story?
I did.
You
Good,
fucked
me
her for
too.
4 hours.
I'm not finished.
Oh, you're not
good.
finished.
Neither. Wow.
Mark,
you just
interject.
kept fucking her. Oh, good, Jim.
Wait,
Those kids got shot.
Jim, way to steer the ship today, by the way. You're
Absolutely.
doing great.
What a host. What a host.
You're crushing it.
Like a young Imus.
Oh, I see. So you wanted to hear the version? I can't really.
I don't want to hear.
I'm not practiced at telling this
That's
story.
all right.
Sorry.
We don't
okay,
have to.
man.
When do you leave the States?
Monday.
Oh, you are going back.
We
So
got a whole
anyway,
weekend?
we got on famously. We had loads in common.
Right.
We like overanalyzed things. And also, he wouldn't go outside in Newcastle because he was scared because it was all white people. Then I explained that it's because there's no black people there. It's because that black people don't want to live in Newcastle. Once he found that out, he was like a kid in a candy store. And he killed everywhere he went.
Interesting.
Everywhere. And he was just like, because
just...
he was like, you got to understand in America, when I go to a state where there's no ends, it's because they hate ends.
Right.
Right?
That's so funny.
What is?
Just saying ends. It's funny to me.
Oh, right.
Because you know what you're saying, but you don't say
Yeah,
it.
you said the word a lot the other night when I was talking to you.
Yeah.
Privately?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we were driving. We were moving at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cab driver.
No one knew like what address I was at. So yeah, we get on famously. We have loads of common. Blah blah blah. He's killing. He's cracking me up everywhere we go. And he walks into a jewelry store as well. And like people, what's happening? What's happening? Why is everyone laughing?
No.
We're just laughing at ends.
Yeah, that's all.
That's a great Patrice joke where he sits down at the cellar table and he's all bummed out, and DePaulo goes, "What's going on? What's wrong?" He goes, "Man, I just went to the doctor. I found out I got 9 out of the 10 things that kill niggas."
You had that locked and loaded.
Well, that's a great bit.